Action. All right. Hi there. Welcome to Temp IQs. I am the host, Christian Scott. These are my guests.
That's rude.
Jacob, Noah,
And I'm Brett.
and Brett. There you go. Today we're doing this different. This is the creative. What did I call this? Fuck. Creative.
It's a creative
room-
masterpiece.
The Actors Roundtable. I forgot
Actors
what I called it.
Roundtable. It's
We're
like
doing the
Mike's-
Actors Roundtable. We're here to discuss their film.
films.
And get really in depth into their roles
So
and
in-depth.
the process of making
so
the
deep,
movie.
so deep into the process.
So deep into the process.
Get off of Instagram.
We're starting with Jacob Carney.
Yes, that's me. Hi.
We're here to promote your film. Can you say the name?
Yeah, I can. It's less spooky in the hood. Do I need to show the camera the thing? Too?
I'm
You're just gonna edit that in.
Yeah.
Less spooky in the hood.
And here's the summary of it. A film about a psycho humanoid murdering monster hunting the town of Compton while struggling to avoid gang life, and gang culture, while providing for a sick single mother who doesn't know how to read. Can you can you explain where where the idea came from? Because you also wrote it with Wes Anderson. where did the seed?
It all stems back from my early childhood, where as a kid, my mom died before I was born, so it was kind of hard to really imagine a life without her. So I made one.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of went. I went to the I went to the nearest Coles and before they went bankrupt, and I got my own mom. And this one. And she couldn't read, so I knew after that I would have to protect her. So
Beautiful.
yeah. It was just an idea that stems from the back of my mind.
Yeah.
As a child.
And Wes Anderson helped you.
Yeah. I met Wes when because he was also picking out a mum. Not for the same reasons, of course. He's called a mum hunter, whatever those are. But me and Wes are good. I told him my mom couldn't read.
It said that you were a big fan of Wes Anderson's throughout his career. What's your favorite film of his that really attracted you?
No, I love Wes Anderson. He has a movie about a fox. Yeah, there's so many I have so many favorites. I guess if I had to pick one, maybe like Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh yeah.
The Isle of
Dogs.
No, I don't even know the Isle of Dogs.
A lot of his animated stuff.
Yeah, I love. What is animation again?
So, that's in the movie was really gripping. Noah,
so gripping.
Your movie, was really interesting. Can you tell me the title of your movie?
Thank you, Ozzy.
You're welcome.
It's Johnny Seaweed.
Johnny Seaweed.
Yeah, it's really short and concise.
See, I was going to speak on the summary. I was going to explain the summary, but I thought the way you described it on Oprah was way better. So I was thinking, could you give me the summary? Could you give me the summary of Johnny Seaweed?
So, yeah, Johnny Seaweed. It's like a mix between the Swiss Family Robinsons and Castaway. So, and like a little bit of Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
Like all those three movies mixed into one. And then when Quentin came to me the idea of like you're gonna be stuck on an island with Chris Hemsworth and
Quentin Tarantino has buggy eyes.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
They were like, you're not gonna. It's PG-13, but you need to like say it with your eyes.
Yeah. Quentin Tarantino's first PG-13 movie. I was really.
Yeah, it was, and I was like asking him like why PG-13, and he was like, well, shit sells, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, y'all had a shit scene in there too.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was whenever
That's
we
cool.
got to like the top of the mountain in the island, and it was just like a beautiful like story of island lust, more or less.
Yeah.
And to be honest, when we were recording, I was just elated to work with Chris. I mean, I tell you, after our first session, I tell you, my back was stiffer than a furry at a zoo. Like it. Joe. So yeah, I just really enjoyed working. That like experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Brett, you were the executive producer for La Spooky in the Hood. But what I really want to truly dive deep on is your early work, starring beside Viola Davis in the multi-Academy Award-winning film Bringing Africa to America.
Yes.
A film about a young man who takes a trip to Africa and learns the music and culture of their people, only to come back to America to become a male prostitute for the state of Texas, for the Texas State Fair. Excuse me.
Oh,
But at least he has a bongo.
making the big leagues in this movie.
Yeah.
I see.
It's a classic. Though.
Very classic. That's like it's like Wizard of Oz classic. Right?
Yeah. So like after you did that film, you took a break. Was it because the movie was taxing? Would you say?
It was very taxing. Yes.
There was an attack scene in the movie.
No, not a tax scene. It was taxing. Like it was tiring.
Oh, it cost a lot of money.
No.
Like the government got you?
I was very worn out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
You had the snoozies. I understand. We
Yeah.
call them differently in Australia.
It was,
Yeah, they call them snoozies.
we shot a lot of scenes in Africa, and then we came to Dallas, and we shot this in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it was.
Wow, I see how it's
So you shot it in 3 weeks.
I see how you had
Really?
the snoozies. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
and
incredible.
it was tough.
Yeah, and working with Tim Burton and Viola Davis, that was, how was that for you?
I love Tim and me and Viola, me and V. That she's awesome. She's a fantastic actress.
Right, you guys are that
I
close.
literally had to lean on
Y'all
her.
are-
yeah.
for getting.
They're close, man. Have you not seen
Yeah.
the Googles, the pictures of them on Google?
Are you
It's
guys
like
that
Tom.
close?
It's like Tom Holland and Zendaya. We got to worry about them fucking over.
Yeah,
them, you know?
I mean he was a child when they started in the movie, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
pedophile.
Yeah, that's damn.
She's like a big sister to me, man.
Yeah.
A big sister that fucked you. Okay.
Right.
This is in
So-
Arkansas.
Jacob, we for each of your movies, I wrote an article for different magazines, and here was my review for it.
Okay.
I tell you when this film, I tell you when this film first came out, I saw it not one, not two, but 19 times in a row. The first day, and the usher tried to kick me out for seeing it 5 times in a row in one day. I pretended to leave, but I hid in the crevices of the ceiling, camped out there for weeks, surviving on rats and old candies from the 90s. I would have seen it a 20th time if they didn't go investigate that smell that was coming from the ceiling and find me hunched over with a half living rat in my mouth, screaming for more.
You're fucking weird, man. You're
Was
fucking
that-
weird.
Is that the initial reaction you wanted from this
No,
audience? Was that the initial reaction you wanted from this audience? From the audience.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think having a half-eaten rat hiding in the top of a movie theater is the way I was gonna go. I was actually looking for specifically with La Spooky in the Hood. I was looking for more of a action-based romance. So I wanted people to fight and fuck. That's what me and Wes Anderson were talking about. The double F's, fight and fuck. So. It's a great reaction. You paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
That went into my 2001 desert sand colored Ford Prius.
Yeah.
So it helps quite a bit.
The husband was not happy.
Your husband?
Yeah, was not happy.
Not happy. Well, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little discomforting because of the double F's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did y'all fight to fuck?
We fought.
Oh, we're
Yeah, we
winning!
fought.
What's the?
Yeah,
I'm winning.
there we
Double
go.
time. Double time.
My review for you for Noah's
Yeah,
film
yeah.
Johnny Seaweed. This was my review. Wow, this movie happened. Someone really did make a movie. The actors really did acting in this movie. Wow, and the directing was, well, how do you say directed? Some people may say this movie was edited and lit
Wow.
with lights and shot on a camera.
Some people are really observant. I'll tell
with
you what.
lenses.
They're observant as
With
fuck.
film attached to it. This movie is movie that happened this year. This is one of the movies of all time, and I stand by that. Was that the initial reaction you wanted?
When you went to see it, did you go to the theater in Toronto?
I went to a theater.
Was it in Canada?
It was in a place that had states in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like city states?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
So, like,
Mongolia!
so you went to the Toronto Grand Theater.
You know, I forgot the name of the theater, but it did have a title.
Because that review definitely sounds like, see, on 5 of the movie places, we actually pranked the viewers.
Yeah.
Where when they got in, they were given a drink.
Yeah.
And it was actually heavily concentrated kombucha. And then
They saw
once
demons.
you got into the theater, we hit you with aerated acid.
They saw a lot
And
of
then
demons.
once you sat up there, it was actually me, Chris, and Matthew that would like run in, and it was the 4D experience. The screen was blank, but you were hallucinating so much, and then we were just in front of you doing random moves and noises. It kind of sounds like you were in those theaters, which I'm privileged that you enjoyed it so much.
I don't think his article said anything about enjoying.
Now that you brought it up, I don't remember
the morning
seeing
after.
the movie.
Yeah, because it was like we were just like tickling your
Yeah.
toes to really give you the 4D experience and like blowing. Yeah, that's exactly what we did actually.
Yeah.
I was there.
You were,
I was there. I watched the movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like that was like our social experiment of Johnny Seaweed. We really got you like into the seaweed, but mostly the weed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you were just I guess you were in one of those theaters.
You know what?
which is-
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That explains it.
Mhm.
That explains so much. I knew it was Canada.
Yeah.
Toronto, Canada.
Oh, we could only do it in Canada.
Free healthcare,
They
socialism,
wouldn't-
man.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us do it anywhere else.
Of course. I wrote a review for yours. It says, when I saw this movie, I knew for a fact that this was the laugh-out comedy of the year. I laughed so hard, I fell off my seat in the movie theater, only to land on a dirty needle. I laughed all the way home, and once home, my husband asked me what was so funny. I told him that I just saw the funniest movie in America, bringing Africa to America. He quickly told me that it was in no way a comedy, and actually a devastatingly aggressive drama. I paused in confusion, only to think back at the rest of the audience members staring at me, yelling at me to shut up in tears. Then I realized that rusty needle was a heroin needle. So as the years went on, I got heavily addicted to the sticky brown sugar, and as of last year, been 4 years sober. Was that the initial reaction?
My friend, can I just, as of last year, that's a year. You've been 4 years. So, okay.
So was that the initial reaction you wanted?
Okay.
No.
I think you got to stand on 3 no's here.
Right.
No, this is a very,
Yeah.
very I'd die in this movie.
Oh yeah.
How is that funny?
Well, fucking thanks, man. I haven't fucking seen it.
It's been out for 5 years.
Well, now I know, and I'm not gonna fucking watch it now.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah. I thought that was the best part of the whole movie. Killer.
Dying of HIV is the funniest part of this?
No.
Wow.
No. I did rewatch it, and I was like, oh. Okay. Hey. Oh. Well,
Oh,
I'm done.
can I have the microphone? It's my turn.
Well, Jacob, this was shot in France, but it takes place in Compton. How much of that affected the outcome of the movie?
Well, you know what I'm saying, man. I need you to understand something real quick, okay? So, I had a buddy of mine, Chris Pontius. We worked together on previous films like War Against Inanimate Objects 5. And I mentioned we were going to go do the real thing out in Compton. And he was like, nah, bro, that's fucked up. He says that's racial stereotyping or something, whatever. So he's like, let's go to France, man. I was like, bro, you ain't even got money for France.
Yeah.
But we went to France, and we did it there. What was the question again?
How did shooting in France affect the performance?
A lot less racism, A lot less English. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Not gonna lie to you. It's a lot harder to get women who can't read in France.
Yeah. That's yeah. So Noah, well, before we get to yours,
Yeah, man.
have
Yeah,
we
man.
got Brett back?
I'll do it.
Oi, bro.
Thank
Oi,
you.
oi, oi.
I'm so
What
sorry.
are you doing,
That was not my intentions. Were not to insult you in any way. I apologize for laughing at your movie.
Yeah, my manager said I need to come back in here.
Yeah, I'm terribly sorry about that. Noah.
Oi, bro. You did a mic drop and everything, man.
So this movie was the most expensive film of all time, beating out Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, which is the actual highest, for real. I thought it was like Avatar or something like that, but it's actually Pirates of the fucking Caribbean. When I saw it, I thought to myself, where did all the money go to? Because most of the movie was spent on a beach, and it was mostly dialogue heavy. Where did the money go to for it to be the most expensive?
So we pulled a little Dubai, which we had to make the beach in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, so that beach wasn't there before.
No, it was just like in the Pacific, and we had to build it. And to do that, you have to have a lot of sand.
Where did you get the sand, man?
Indonesian slave workers.
Oh!
And listen, Tarantino, say what you want about the man. He's got some wacky methods.
And he's got some buggy
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
Oi, bro. He's got some buggy eyes.
So the reason why the number is so astronomically high is no amount of money can atone for the sins of all the lost souls that are now at the bottom of the Pacific, covered in sand,
Alright.
never to be found.
I see. So, Brett, growing up in the film industry must have been hard. What was the hardest part about growing up as an actor? Was it A, the child labor laws, or B, the child molestation, or C, the endless amount of drugs being introduced to you at such a young age?
B. Oh!
It was actually a mixture of B and C.
Child molestation and drugs.
Yeah, having to try to avoid both of those is very difficult. And I was high as shit during the whole making of bringing Africa to America.
Right.
How old were you?
I was 15. It was yeah.
Yeah. It was rough.
I don't remember most of those days.
Really, and the performance came out so strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people cried during that movie. One person laughed, but I will not say who.
I think we all know who that is.
So
It wasn't me. I haven't seen the movie yet.
So Jacob, while the story was set in Compton, Compton natives like Ice Cube was in the movie, but why did you feel the need to hire someone like 50 Cent, who was famously from Queens, New York?
I like 50 Cent.
What was that?
Okay. When I was younger, I had.
Sorry, this is serious.
Right, it is.
Yeah.
This is serious.
I'm turning the mic right side up.
Oh, real serious.
When I was younger, me had no monies. Me only had 50 cents. So when me made the movie, me wanted 50 Cent to have more than 50 cents.
Got you.
Also, why do girls get so bloody pressed when their man wears a dress?
I can't do the bit.
Right. So, Noah, for this movie, you had to use motion capture for the first time. Was it a great challenge of yours, or was it awkward for you to use motion capture for this film?
It was awkward as fuck being in a skin-tight spandex suit with dots. Yes. And also, horny.
You're in a skin tight dress.
Fuck off. British.
I'm not a. Okay.
No queen. Okay.
No queen.
No towers, America. No towers.
But no, it was definitely a challenge.
Mhm.
I don't even know why we did it.
Yeah.
But Quinn just really wanted.
It's
me.
like because your
Most
character Johnny Seaweed. How would you explain Johnny Seaweed to those who haven't seen the movie yet? Which everyone has. It's one of the highest.
Yeah. Have you seen Pippi Longstocking?
Yes, I have.
If she had a dick.
I've seen Paddington.
If he had a dick.
He's a bear.
With. If he had a.
If he was a
Dick,
bear
that's
with a
the-
dick, is what you were trying to say.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's
But
quite literally what
I
he
said it after you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it would be like. It was. Pardon me. It was a riveting experience. It was a riveting experience,
Yeah.
and it was definitely some trials and tribulations in my life during that time.
Yeah, gotcha. Brett, in your first starring role, you're already working with Emmy Academy Golden Globe winning actress Viola Davis, and what some might say one of the greatest minds, Tim Burton. Was it intimidating for you on the first few days?
No, I was 15 and high as shit. Half the time I thought I was actually the person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was your character's name, right?
They called me David,
David. Yeah.
but they called me Big Dave.
Big Dave.
It's kind of funny because I was really small then.
Yeah.
So they actually had to like position the camera to make me look bigger.
Oh, they have to do the Lord of the Rings thing where they use
Yeah.
forced perspective. Got you. Interesting. And Tim Burton, what was one of the direction points that he used? What was the one direction that he gave you that like stuck with you for every other film you've been in?
Sorry, he said One Direction.
Right. What was the one direction that like that really gave you that like stuck with you for every filming process?
He said, "You need to be the character. You can't you can't fake the character.
Right.
You have to become the character." So for 3 months before, I was a prostitute in Dallas. I had to get prepared for it.
Right.
I'm sorry, I was going to stick to the bit and have my head down till it was my turn, and then I just heard you say that you were a 15-year-old prostituting illegally in Dallas to get ready for...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm back.
And that was, I can only imagine, and it goes without saying, really fucked up, right?
Oh yeah, that's where I made my first $1 million.
Million.
Yeah.
The movie or...
Oh,
No. 3 months before.
the prostitution process.
Pleasant Grove, great.
Go. Okay.
So, Jacob, you
No question.
you had to Jacob, you had to do an accent for this film. What were the the hurdles in order to get the accent that you believed was fit for the part?
So, they wanted me to go in depth and they wanted me to really go with the grain and be like I was born and raised in a street on Compton. In Compton.
On a
street in Compton.
Gotcha.
In a street. I'm
Yeah.
like underneath the asphalt.
Got you.
So I spent a lot of time, not in Compton, in Santa Fe, New Mexico, trying to learn how to be like somebody who could have possibly lived in Compton. So I've actually been told by my I was actually told by my friend Dwayne Johnson that my Compton my Compton impression or like the accent-esque is pretty good. It goes like this. So I'm just gonna give you a little snippet for the interview, of
the
course.
Compton accent.
I need to think of one of my famous lines from this movie really quickly. One of the ones that everybody's got gifs about.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the movie poster really quickly just so I can get some inspo. I believe in the movie, Steve Buscemi played a guy named Leroy. I can't remember.
Yeah, from what I remember too.
So it was like this.
I should know.
Leroy and then Ice Cube. Ice Cube was fucking Darren or something. I can't remember.
Right.
But it was like this. Leroy, please don't leave me, or please don't leave Darren. We misses you, please. And then Leroy was like, and then Leroy was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Mm-hmm. And Ice Cube, of course, Darren was like, I'm Ice Cube. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yes, we love you. But this is my Compton, the style accent. It's pretty decent.
And Dwayne The Rock Johnson approved it.
Yes.
Who was famously not from Compton.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Right.
But he was a Fast and Furious, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I was doing the.
You got it.
It just kind of rolls off the tongue, so sometimes
yeah.
I just accidentally do it a lot.
Yeah. You had to go like Daniel Day-Lewis style, really in depth in character. You had to.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
It's hard to get out.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Another thing that's hard to get out. Gonorrhea.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. No,
so Noah,
from Dwayne.
Shia LaBeouf was the producer for this film, and had a great hand alongside Quentin Tarantino with casting. What do you think he saw in you, Matthew McConaughey and Chris Hemsworth, and the surprise cameo from Jared Leto? What do you think he saw in all of you guys?
Well, Chris Hemsworth had just came off of getting the role of Thor in Marvel, and so he was promising. Actor, of course, and all this other stuff. And then Matthew McConaughey, just...
Fresh off of what movie?
Oh,
what was it?
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight. He was in that.
Oh, Harvey Dent in Arkham Knight.
He played Harvey Dent in...
I don't know!
You were confident in your dress and everything, you idiot!
If I remember the timeline correctly, he was in Dark Towers?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
the Stephen King...
Interstellar, actually.
Interstellar. He was in Interstellar. Oh, okay, so there was like...
Yeah, so he was,
just right on top of the head.
Interstellar.
Yeah. Oh, so you got him confused because you thought he was in Dark Knight because it was also directed by Christopher Nolan, as you know,
exactly.
right? Which, by the way,
I told him. And he
what's some of your other favorite Christopher Nolan films? A Bug's Life.
That's what he said.
Oh, that's what he said.
I think that to say one is a disservice to him.
Right.
And so you would have to say all of them, and unfortunately, we just don't have time.
No, we have a
No, we just don't. I have to. The Spiderwick Chronicles. Shut the fuck up.
Spiderwick Chronicles.
So it would be a disservice to say one, but if I had to guess, probably The Dark Knight. If I had to. Shut the fuck up.
I'm fucking.
More like Tenet is an amazing one.
Oh yeah, the most recent one that came out.
Yeah, pretty good one. But no, they're all amazing.
Alright, so you're excited for Oppenheimer. I know we're on a...
We need to... Yeah, so...
back to the question, what did Shia LaBeouf and Quentin Tarantino see in the cast? What did he see in you?
Well, I had just come out from being a homeless person, and I was gifted a brownie that I would then eat entirely, and then turns out that it was actually a weed brownie. And then I proceeded to lose my mind running naked in the streets of Los Angeles until I fought a homeless man for his cardboard box. Then I, of course, won because he's a homeless man, he's malnourished. But that wasn't my problem at the time. And then I accidentally tripped into a nightclub called Swingers. And it was a pretty good nightclub, and it was very enjoyable, my time there. Much of it was a blur, but I ended up hopping over the bar, and that's where I saw Shia. And then I begged him to house me because I was homeless at the time. Yeah. And then he did house me, and then after that, a couple months later, we started to become friends. I was living in his house. He opened his arms, really let me in. Yeah. And then I asked him. I was like, "Hey, would you let me into a movie?" And then he said, "No." So then I sucked his dick. Yes. And that's just really the antithesis of how to get in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's what Yeah, it's inspirational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brett,
You are an inspiration, by the way, man.
You
I'm
are
very happy to hear.
I think we can all say we're fans of you. And stuff.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I've never been to a swingers bar, but I've always wanted to get drunk and go and swing.
Yeah, I personally have not seen any of your movies
actually pretty
outside
fun.
of this one, but I am a big fan.
Thank you.
Brett, William Shakespeare once wrote, "Stars hide in your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires." What do you think he means by that?
What in the world does this have anything to do with this movie?
Jacob,
Okay.
for the movie, it said that there's an accompanied music video that you created with 50 Cent and Ice Cube and Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Would it would it be possible to hear some of that? Yeah.
It's possible.
It's possible? Yeah. Okay, I get you this is what it sounds like.
So, you know the backstory, right, for the whole music video and the song and everything. We were doing a guest soundtrack for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
We had this new up and comer from the UK, fucking Oibruv or something.
Mm.
He wasn't rapping. He's a rapper now.
Right.
But he was just DJing back then, so he came up with this killer beat for the soundtrack for the movie.
Right.
I think the one you're talking about, because we only have one public one. We have like 10 unreleased. But the public one, that was for the scene where my character and his mom both learned how to read at the same time. So it was a good little music video. It was a good little song for the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I can give you a little snippet of my verse.
Please do.
Actually, I think I know all 3 of our verses.
Yeah, you can do whatever.
Or all 4 of our verses, my
Yeah.
bad. So my verse, it was my mom can read, her son can see, we both got a piss. Now Ice Cube hit him with the diss. And then it went, hey yo, I'm Steve Buscemi, I play as Leroy. Hey, yo, my name is Ice Cube. I like to get real rude. I interrupted Steve Buscemi because he couldn't know his ABCs. And then it went to, I believe this is actually the one I think that went viral once like Facebook got super mainstream.
Right.
It was 50 Cent. It was 50 Cent's favorite.
It was his verse?
His verse, yeah.
Yeah.
It was fuck. Hang on a second. One second. Let me look.
Until then, Noah.
It's right here.
Oh, you got it?
No, yeah, I have it saved in my phone, dude.
Right.
It was like one of the most
it's super
popular
popular,
things
right.
I've ever heard.
I haven't heard of it, but you know.
Yeah, no. His kind of went off theme for the movie. It had to do with 2 men who spent 6 months working on a duck blind. Well, I'll just say the verse.
Yeah.
They didn't build it to fuck. They didn't build it to suck. They can't do it in the truck. They only do it while we're hunting ducks. If the duck blinds are rocking, don't come a knocking, 'cause we're both fucking, and our wives ain't knowing. That was 50 Cent's part.
That was incredible.
It was, yeah. It's
Deeply
about 2
insightful.
men who built a duck blind so
Yeah.
they could fuck in it.
If I remember correctly, Obama
And not
put it in
tell
his
their
top
wives.
10 favorite songs. Of
Yeah,
the
no, yeah. It actually, back then, Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas, was the most popular song, and it wasn't hated.
Yeah.
Then that verse came out. And now it's the most hated song. Nick Cannon now has 11 children.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's bad.
It's not up to 12. It's not up to 12.
It's up to 12.
Hang on.
It is up to
It's
12.
up to 12.
Oh, it's after, yeah, well, yeah, the time. Yep,
Yeah.
12.
So, Noah, for a particular scene, you had to call Jacob for advice to really capture the emotion. Which scene was that?
Oh, you're talking about the Japanese water torture
Yeah.
scene, or the Chinese water torture scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Quentin Tarantino, he one day he was really just like kind of corny on set, And so he walked in and was like, "You're gonna be waterboarded." And I was like, "Whoa, I don't even know how to surf." And so I asked Jacob
fucking get me.
to help me with some lessons because we were in the Pacific anyway. And so he was pretty good surfing at the time. And so we got pretty good, and I got to where I could last like 30 seconds on the board in the wave. And then, you know, I trained for like a couple more months, get a little bit better, and then I'm like able to fully surf. And that was like honestly a really good moment in my life. And then when I got to set with my surfboard, he was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" And then he proceeded to dip me in water and torture me because I didn't know what Japanese water torture was.
Yeah.
And I spent the past 3 months of my life surfing. So that was all wasted, but a learning experience nonetheless.
Yeah.
Also unlocked a new kink.
Bro,
Good to know.
you got problems, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, that became a deleted scene, so it wasn't even necessary.
Yeah, no,
for
it
the
was
movie.
it was in the cut because it was actually my balls were out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like both testicles, and so
Yeah.
obviously couldn't be in PG-13.
What
You
help
only
did
allowed one testicle in PG-13.
What?
That's just known.
what help did I give you?
Nothing, because it wasn't surfing.
So
I don't even know how to surf.
So Brett, it says here in your audition, you had to do an impression of Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka. Can you show us your impression of Willy Wonka?
Well, first thing,
Uh-huh.
what happened to your accent?
What accent?
Okay, Kofi. Willy Wonka's.
Yeah, you're
No, Johnny Depp's Willy
Johnny
Wonka.
Depp's Willy Wonka. You had to do that for your audition. Can you give us some of that?
Yeah, it's
Oh
the
my
reason
gosh.
they casted me was this whole the scene I totally improv'd was I was like, okay, Willy Wonka, I got it. So I sat down and went. You lose. Good day, sir. You got me right there.
Wow, that was beautiful. And it got that won you the audition, even though that was Gene Wilder's. Willy
Yeah, because they
Wonka's.
wanted me to be original.
Right. Right.
I wanted to win!
Okay, it's okay.
Oh, that's how I got my audition as Lana Rhodes.
Oh,
I fake cried.
that's incredible. It's seamless.
That was also a
Yeah.
great film.
One of
What
my
was the
favorite.
name of that movie again? Where you played Lana Rhodes?
Stiffback Mountain.
Uh,
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a great film.
It was done by
Honestly-
Dorm Hub. It was a college station thing.
right. Robbed of an Oscar, I might say.
Yeah.
So
Will Smith
robbed
had
of
to
many
hog
awards.
the Oscars.
yeah. So Jacob, you were originally a theater actor. How does
Yeah.
theater compare to doing dramatic roles such as this?
It's very easy. It wasn't too much of a transition. Honestly, I would say it was a bit easier of a transition compared to what the transitions are like in 2022. I went from doing more theatrical arts on a stage where people look at you from one point of view to doing it on film where people look at it again from one point of view, but on their phones or their TVs or their just a bunch of screens. But it was good. I learned. And what was the question again? I'm sorry.
How is it different from how's doing theater different from doing film?
It's very different.
Yeah.
When I do theater, I can eat sandwiches.
Yeah.
But then I do films, movie sets and stuff, and I'm not even allowed to have fucking Skittles.
Right.
And that's like, you know what I mean? So like for my movie, I don't want to mispronounce the name of the
Yeah,
movie.
of your title. The movie,
the title of my movie, of
Yeah.
course. I believe
Because it's in French.
Yeah. It's Les Spooky in the Hood. For my movie, Les Spooky in the Hood, my only requirement was that I had two things. Coffee and sour Skittles. And I did not get either one of those. Do you know what the fuck I got for that movie?
What?
I got this fucking thing called Thousands. Do you know what those are? Thousands and millions, yeah. They're
Like money?
Australian. It's Australian.
But it was set.
You know what the fuck they are in America?
What?
Sprinkles!
Mm.
I got sprinkles.
How do I say this?
And Kool-Aid Jammers. They put the thousands in the Kool-Aid Jammer straw. It was like diabetic boba.
Well, I'll say this. I think I speak for everyone when I say I am wildly lost. No, there's this scene in that movie with that line that everyone's been quoting on their TikTok, their Instagram, their Twitters. And you know it, I know it. Let's say the line together.
Oh, yeah.
You and me. Okay.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. If you
If
don't
you
climb up that tree, I'm gonna slap your
I'm
tits
gonna
off.
snap your tits off.
Yeah. That's such a good one.
And it was improvised.
Yeah, because so what actually happened is the boom mic operator got the boom mic stuck in one of the palm trees of the fake desert or
Right.
fake beach, that we had, and we were like trying to shoot the scene. And Chris, he's just very particular. He's very particular about how the set has to be. He noticed it, and he didn't. There was no like warning or anything. It was just that he noticed it, and then he instantly went like climb up that fucking tree, or I'll slap your tits off.
Right.
Yeah, it's just it's an amazing quote, and it shocked me, which it hurt.
Yeah.
Because I was naked during that point. I'm going to slap your fucking tits off.
So, Brett, while writing this, Tim Burton said he was inspired by The Great Gatsby, Tron Legacy, and The Princess Diaries. No. Oh, I misread that. The 1977 miniseries Roots. How do you think those films influenced the story that was brought on screen?
Hold on, what was the last
The 1977 miniseries Roots.
Roots.
Yeah.
That's about gardening.
No. So, how do you think those movies influence the story? Yeah, I haven't.
Tim Burton, I love him to death, but he didn't tell us how he got the roots of this. He just gave us the script, and weirdly enough, he gave me a whole character backstory.
Yeah.
That was not even a part of it. And he was like, "Okay, this is what I need you to be."
Yeah.
And I was 15 at the time, and I'm like, "I'm a prostitute?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, it's okay."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So it was what was the question again?
How do you think like those movies influenced
What were the
scene?
first two movies?
It was Tron Legacy and The Great Gatsby.
Oh, The Great Gatsby. I've never seen that movie.
That's the movie about a guy named Gatsby.
Yeah, and it was great.
He's apparently great at something.
It was great at something. Making money, apparently.
Not being memorable, I know that
No,
much.
it was making money, and that's what I did in that movie.
Boom.
Was
Yeah.
I made money. And Tron Legacy, because it was about getting me out of a place I did not need to be.
Yeah, the light range game with the motorcycles and stuff.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Tron Legacy.
Oh yeah, that movie. Why are we whispering?
I don't know.
Jacob, some say a horror hood drama directed by Wes Anderson and starring the likes of you, Ice Cube, 50 Cent, and Steve Buscemi seems like a fever dream of an idea, yet works so well. Tell me, when you first heard the idea and everyone who was involved, did you think to yourself, yes, this is an immediate success, or were you hesitant?
I didn't expect it to even be a YouTube short.
Right.
I did not expect it to be as massively successful as it was. It released with movies the likes of Avengers Endgame and Bullet Train and Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
So it was really crazy when that was highest grossing movie of the year.
Yeah.
And I believe highest grossing movie ever. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was the statistic.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Basically, like, did you foresee the success?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And I have a question. When you were doing your prostitution thing as a kid, did Tim Burton ever test your legitimacy as a prostitute?
Tim never did.
Okay.
But he saw all the bankroll I brought in. Well, once it was like he gave us the script like a year in advance in the backstory, and I was just trying to get into it. And it like 9 months later, I was like, I still feel way over my head.
Yeah.
So I went to Dallas and started my thing.
Yeah.
And he was checking in on me, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Fucking making money."
Yeah.
I had 100,000 in the first week, and he goes, "How the fuck did you get 100,000 in the first week?" And I'm like, "I'm good."
Yeah.
And that's
A lot of
he was like,
pedophiles.
I picked the right one.
Yeah.
I said I was 18.
I think you said you were 15.
No, I said I was 18.
Oh, got you.
Reverse
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
Hansen.
Yeah, I reversed Chris Hansen.
Got you. Noah, for this you said it was a religious experience that awakened you, your spiritual side. How did this movie do that for you?
DMT and mushrooms. That was the.
I've heard of that. Yep.
That's why we got the going back to the prank theater. I was actually on it for most of the movie.
Oh.
And so it was more like actually God talking to me than the demons in my head reaching out, clawing me into the great abyss that was. And so, so that's what really...
Wow.
Because...
That's a journey, man.
Yeah, because if I'm being honest, when every day I got there and I wasn't higher than giraffe pussy eating kombucha and DMT, Quentin would just be like... Quentin would just be like, "Noah, your head is not in the game. I need you to eat this shit." And so I would, for the movie and for all the restless souls 10,000 feet beneath me. And that was just kind of why it felt religious. Looking back on it, I think it was mostly just hallucinations.
Yeah.
Yeah, DMT was when I was in my third movie.
Yeah.
The
I
Blood
thought
of
that was a
Hades.
rapper.
No, DMT and Shrooms, The Blood of Hades, that rom-com, it sold that movie, and that's the only my acting was based on DMT and Shrooms.
I
Which,
love
like, a lot of people, it was a short-lived series because it was a mini-series, but it was incredible. I loved it. Yeah.
I love the Thriller music video.
I too. Yeah. I also love the Thriller
Yeah.
music video.
Michael J. Fox can get it anytime he wants.
I loved it. You wouldn't think he could dance, but I don't know, those jitters kind of.
I thought it was amazing, and he went, "Blanket, no,
Yeah.
that's ignorant. Blanket, that's ignorant."
And real quick, the question, Noah. Oprah said she auditioned for the role as Johnny Seaweed. How did you beat her in the audition? What did you do differently that Oprah did not?
Can I make an assumption real quick? I think it was just because you had a stiffer back. But please tell me.
That could have been a part of it, but I think it was my hard work and dedication because Shia got me in the door.
Right.
And I was, giving them my all on the acting floor and just really putting my heart and soul out there, even off DMT.
Yeah.
But when I got on DMT, they discovered that I was way more susceptible to giving them fellatio.
Right.
So that's probably how I got the job because Oprah, she is, she does have a moral high ground, but I don't.
Yeah.
And so that's I don't beat Oprah in a lot of instances.
Yeah.
But in moral sluttiness, definitely ahead of the game.
Right.
In that, and I just took it really seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible, Brett. At the end of the movie, there's this titular scene that has gone down in cinema history as one of the best monologues in, like I said, cinema history when you're confronting your pimp. Could you spare a few lines from that beautiful monologue?
Okay. I'm tired of this shit, Grandpa. I don't like this shit. I'm tired. I'm done. You can't do it. I'm not doing this shit no more. Grandpa, no, fuck you. No, I'm not doing it. Here you go.
Amazing.
Still brings tears.
Amazing.
It does bring tears. It really does.
Yeah.
It really
That
that's a lot.
That
a lot to handle. Even this many years later.
This many years later, and it still hits. In Jacob, in a scene where
Okay.
in a scene where you're confronting 50 Cent after he shot and killed your companion in the movie, played by Ezra Miller. You deliver a heartbreaking and emotional monologue. Could you possibly tell me where your mind was when you delivered that monologue? And I don't know, could you recite some things?
So they told me to go into it thinking like the worst possible scenario.
Yeah.
So I went into it with the worst emotion possible, and I think the scene turned out pretty good as for what me and my good old buddy old pal were thinking, Wes Anderson were thinking of doing, or what we saw envisioned for the scene. As for some lines, I believe this is when Darren had like taken the Nerf gun with a thumbtack in it and like just had shot my significant other in the eye, causing him to have a headshot, and I was like, and I think, let me think of the lines. I said, Darren, you're not supposed to do that. We said no times as ounces, and now this hurts. What happened to him? He's gone.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great scene, powerful scene. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I stayed in that ceiling.
Yeah.
For 19 days or so.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Actually, it wasn't 19 days. I saw it 19 times.
You saw it. If there's 19 days and you watched it at least 5 times a day, that's 19 times 5, which comes out to an insurmountable number that I cannot think of because I'm a Hollywood celebrity who's been in movies and directed movies with people of the likes of Ice Cube, for the Seal, Ezra Miller, Shia LaBeouf, and Steve Buscemi.
Incredible.
But that was it.
Daniel Day-Lewis has to look behind him because you're right there. Noah,
I'm sorry.
I lost my question.
It was Ezra Miller that
you said, you said after this movie, you're focusing on trying out theater. What works do you have? What projects are you attached to, and would you tell us about it?
I don't really want to give the projects away,
right,
but definitely when I got in, they wanted me to try to get in on Cats, but I just couldn't get in. I was too scarred from the movie, and I get that Broadway is better than the movie, but also it's a furries, and we know how they are when they get into the zoo. Yeah, and so I just wasn't.
Stiff.
Yeah, stiff as a board. Stiff as
a stiff board.
A stiff board. Not.
It also says on IMDb that you're allergic to cats. Is that also what?
Yeah. Yes. Also deadly allergic, so it didn't work at all. I was thinking about getting into maybe some of the underscenes, some of the lesser known plays, like
Finding Nemo.
Yeah, like Bright Red Strap On, or Dwarf with a Hearing Disorder.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, some of the lesser known ones, like The Adventures of Nim and The Forest of Always Slipping. That was one that kind of really spoke out to me, and also the off-brand Peter Pan one, where it's actually Hook that flies and captures children, and Peter Pan has to save them. A little bit of a double entendre, if you really think about. Yeah,
I can get you in if you want.
I was debating, but
I'm gonna be Hook. I'll give you a line. It goes, ARG!
Ooh.
Chills.
Literal chills.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. I'm very passionate about it.
No, I understand. Yeah, because that's one of the things I've been realizing. They're very passionate.
Yes. So passionate, like the passion fruit.
And so I need to really get that passion. But if you want to know what I'm actually working on, it's a little number. It's from the Lucasfilm universe. It's Yoda on ketamine.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's a wild ride. Let me tell you what. There's a lot of ways that the Force works that you don't think it does. But yeah, that's the main project.
That's a really good teaser.
Attached to Star Wars. That's amazing.
Yeah, Yoda. Yeah, Yoda on ketamine, and it's funny because it's not even actual Yoda. It's Lego Yoda.
Oh.
It's the ketamine that got him there.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So Brett, fucking Christ, Brett. It was quoted by Ice Cube while you were producing for Jacob's movie. that bringing Africa to America was Ice Cube's top 3 favorite movies of all time, and he cried like a baby at the film. What does that say to you as a performer?
That's I made Ice Cube cry. Holy shit!
Yeah, you made Ice Cube.
It's really hard to get him to show emotion.
Yeah.
The guy literally only laughs at his movies.
He does.
I thought today was a good day. Now it's turned into a great day.
That's valid. I agree.
Yeah.
That's.
It encourages you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
He
Jacob,
saw your butthole, man. And he cried at your butthole.
yeah, everyone saw his butthole.
Yeah, I was in the theater with him when he saw it. He was like, wow.
It's rumored, Jacob, that as soon as you met Ice Cube, you just went down a list of naming your favorite songs and albums. What are some of your favorite songs by Ice Cube, and what is your favorite album by Ice Cube?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be I'm probably gonna get some hate for this. I was never really the biggest fan of NWA.
Yeah.
I liked Ice Cube when he did his own thing.
Really.
You can't say NWA. You can say WA.
Oh, WA.
There we go.
Well, in the movie, I was allowed to. They gave me the NWA pass.
Oh, okay.
So it's just carrying over. But
right.
But yeah, so I liked him as a solo artist back. I like to. Honestly, there isn't a song I didn't like, but I guess one of the ones I still quote to this day are Skittles or Fruit M&Ms. That is, I don't know what it is about that song, but it touches my soul. Yeah. And not in a way you would think. And I think I would say my favorite album of his is I Done Melted. Yeah. I think you know that one.
Yeah,
that's
that's
the one with the black backdrop and then it's a cup of water. It's really cool. It's cool as hell. And man, there's a line.
Didn't he feature Ice-T on that one?
He did. He did. Yeah. The song on the album.
What track was it?
It was. It was actually, and you're not gonna. I don't know if you know it, but it was actually on the Skittles or Fruit M&Ms.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So the song would start out. And then it would go into Ice Cube going, "Hey yo, I ain't been raped. Hey yo, I ain't a fucking grape. I'm an M&M sitting in the dish. I'm an M&M getting licked by your bitch." And that actually resonates with me every day. Yeah. Like in the car before I go.
You have it tattooed on you, don't you?
Yeah. It's you might need to do a sensor bar, but I'm not doing it.
Okay. I was so in character.
That song is where Eminem actually got his name.
Yeah. No,
really?
every day.
Wow.
Every day I get into my car and I get the breathalyzer and I go.
So
and it won't start usually. So when it doesn't start, I play that song.
Yeah. Well, this has been an amazing interview. Thank you guys. It was very insightful. I have one more question for the both of you guys, involving both your films, upcoming films. Yeah. What makes you think that you can take on a rhino? What the fuck makes you think you could take on?
Yeah, that's pretty stupid. That's a pretty stupid film.
Yeah.
So.
Noah first.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wow. You waited for Brett to grab the microphone.
Rhinos are just stiff-ass unicorns.
Oh.
And a unicorn is a slightly less stiff horse. And a horse fucks donkeys. Donkeys make mules. Mules is a drink you can get at a bar.
Yeah.
A drink at a bar is where a waiter gives you. A waiter has a girlfriend named Stacy. Stacy has a little cousin named Rebecca. Rebecca is 5 years old and a little bitch. And I can beat her up.
She's
so if
5.
I can beat her up, I think it stems to the rhino.
I don't think that's how. Are you telling me that if you abuse a 5-year-old that you could beat that you're...
The science checks out, Jacob.
There's no science!
Don't question me.
Right.
So it's fairly simple. Me and Noah took 3 years, and every day we would spend 8 hours dodging cars coming at us at 45 miles per hour
Exactly.
with no brakes. They were not allowed to brake to try to not injure us.
Yeah.
So we got really good at dodging at 45 mile per hour cars.
Yeah.
So a rhino who can only go 30 miles per hour, cakewalk.
It's just easy.
Cakewalk.
That as well. I should probably mention that.
Yeah.
But I was
Like in an open field, like with no like fucking ant mines or whatever the fuck you called it.
Ant mounds, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm. That was just
They're
practice,
actually
yeah.
termite mounds.
Termites.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it
termite
was.
mounds,
Yeah.
And yeah, you know how much energy it takes to move around a 2-ton rhino?
A lot. 2 tons worth.
Yeah.
At least 2.1 tons, yeah.
So
Energy.
so when we were out, it's game over, man.
Yeah.
And we trained for 8 hours a day for the first year, and then the next 2 years we made an additional 8 hours every day. So the second year we were at 16, and the third year we didn't sleep.
Wow.
PCP was our friend,
Mm-hmm.
and for 24 hours a day for 365 days,
Yeah.
we dodged a car with no brakes,
Yeah.
going 45 miles per hour at us.
Mm.
That film, we had live rhinos.
Yeah.
How did you
That's
legally get a live rhino?
incredible.
We just went to Africa.
We,
Oh,
Yeah.
you brought,
They-
bringing Africa
bringing
to
Africa
America.
to America,
I see.
yeah.
No, we brought America to Africa.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one.
That's
Yeah,
exactly.
the-
So thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Room Tip IQs.
This has been Room Temp IQs. I'm so
Uh,
happy you tuned in. I'm so happy you watched. I'm so happy our man over here interviewed all of us.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
Winner Jacob. He's
What?
gonna host
I'm the
next
winner! Yeah, it's all the
Uh,
accents I was doing, mate. It's all the accents.
Everything about
You
it.
should do better, man.
Thank you
should do
guys
better.
so much for watching.
Thank you
have
for
a good-
watching.
All right.
I'm the interviewer now. Hi! Oh, yeah. I'm there.